Hey, folks, welcome to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. I'm your host, Louis Carlin. We're heard right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, New Japan Cup USA. First round has come and gone. And man, oh man, what a first night. What a first round in this tournament. It's an 8-man tournament. We had 4 matches to start it off. And man, it was just a great start to this tournament. Let's get into it right now. First match was Leo Rush taking on Clark Connors. Clark Connors, formerly a New Japan Pro Wrestling Young Lion out of the LA Dojo. He has since graduated and he's no longer a Young Lion. Got a big win over TJP to advance to this tournament. So we had Leo Rush, Clark Connors, and I was expecting a terrific match between the two. Big fan of Clark Connors, love Leo Rush. You put the two together, and I was expecting something tremendous, and that's exactly what I got. This was a terrific match. Excellent opener between the two. Both guys worked so well together. They're both such great talents. And as I said, I wasn't expecting anything less, and I got everything that I wanted in this match. They started out with technical wrestling, each trying to gain the advantage. And as the match progressed, Connors hit a nice shoulder tackle. Things started to heat up. Connors controlled the early part of the match. Leo Rush made a bit of a comeback. He hits a suplex for 2. Leo Rush, there was one segment where Leo Rush was chest kicking Clark Connors. Clark Connors was kind of no selling it, just looking at him saying, "Give me more." He was kind of laughing, which was a good part of the match. Rush hits an axe kick. Clark Connors eventually hits a nice pounce and launches Rush right across the ring. Um, Connors was trying to hit the spear. He tried to hit the spear a couple of times. Rush was able to avoid it. There was one time Connors went for the spear and Rush just hit him with a kick right to the head, which was a good part of that match as well. He had a spinning kick to the head, which was really cool to see. And Rush did a moonsault to the outside onto Connors, which was a nice spot. And Connors tried to hit the spear again. He missed, but he finally got to hit the spear. He tried to hit the spear 2 or 3 times before he able to finally get the spear, and he got a near fall after hitting the spear. Rush was able to kick out, but then Rush hit his bottom rope cutter on Clark Connors to end the match. But this was such a good opener. I really enjoyed the match. I really enjoy the intensity of Clark Connors. Really enjoy the talent of Leo Rush, and they came together. They meshed well. Really good opener. Really enjoyed it. Leo Rush moving on to the semifinals. It's a shame. Clark Connors, like I said, is a terrific talent. He has a huge career ahead of him. He's going to be very successful. There's no doubt in my mind that he's going to be very successful in the world of professional wrestling. He just brings the intensity. He has the right look, and he's just so talented. And this could have gone either way, but Leo Rush was the winner, and he does move on to the second. I should say second round to the semifinals. Match 2 was a match that I was really interested in because I wanted Ren Narita to win. Tom Lawlor versus Ren Narita, round 2. This was a very technical match. This was technical wrestling at its finest. It's what Tom Lawlor does, former MMA star, so he's incorporated that into his professional wrestling matches. Very technical. He put on a technical clinic, basically. Tom Lawlor did, but Ren Narita put up a spirited fight. He put up a spirited fight, showed a lot of heart. This was the excellent match, and Narita is going to be a star for sure. But when all was said and done with the technical wrestling, Tom Lawlor was the victor in this match. And I might sound disappointed, and I am, because I really wanted Ren Narita to win this match. I'm a big Ren Narita fan. I love Ren Narita. I loved him when he was in New Japan as a young lion. He's on excursion now in the U.S., working out of the LA Dojo. And I know he has a big victory I think a few weeks back over Chris Dickinson, who was in a match later on against Brody King. I really wanted Ren Narita to win the match, but unfortunately, I can't always get what I want. Tom Lawlor wins the match with a rear naked choke. Narita passes out, and the referee has to stop the match. But this was a very good match, very good match. Lawlor went for multiple submissions. in this match. Narita spent a lot of time trying to escape the submissions. Narita actually hits a nice Northern Light suplex and a belly to belly for a 2 count. And then Ren Narita, I didn't see where it happened, but Ren Narita's nose was kind of busted. His blood pouring out of his nose toward the end of the match. And man, I was pulling for Narita. He put up a spirited fight as well. He has a lot of hearts, and he's got a great career ahead of him. But Tom Lawlor moves on to the semifinals with a big win here over Ren Narita. Match 3 was Hikuleo against Fred Rosser, and this was just an aggressive match from the start. Hikuleo just started aggressively, went right after Fred Rosser. They brawled outside the ring for a bit, so the match didn't even start until they were back in the ring. Actually, Hikuleo, after they were brawling outside, Hikuleo put Rosser back in the ring and covered him, but the ref was like, no, the match hasn't started yet. So the match finally starts, and Hikuleo just dominated most of the action in this one. After that aggressive start from Hikuleo, Rosser was not able to mount any kind of significant comeback. He had his spurts here and there, but the match was basically dominated by Hikuleo. Rosser, like I said, he mounted a short comeback, but when it was all over, Hikuleo hit the Tonga driver on Fred Rosser to win the match. It was a shorter match. I think the first 2 matches went at least 10 minutes or more. This match was about 6 minutes, and Hikuleo does advance to the semifinals after hitting the big Tonga driver for the win. It was a domination by Hikuleo. Hikuleo is like 6'8", 6'9", maybe even 7 feet, but he's just a talented wrestler. And when he heads back to New Japan, when he's able to wrestle in Japan, he's going to be a big star when he's teaming with Tama Tonga Loa, his brothers. Really, really, really good star here. He's got so much potential, so much upside in Hikuleo, and he is my pick to win this whole tournament. And I'd be very surprised if he didn't win. But Hikuleo moves on to the semifinals with the win over Fred Rosser. And match 4, final match of the evening. Faction members in the Ring of Honor. Brody King taking on Chris Dickinson. And I was expecting a hell of a match here, and that's what I got as well. This was a great, hard-hitting match. This was basically a war. Brody King hitting some big shots, getting some big shots in. Chris Dickinson, the smaller of the two, working on the leg, smartly working on the leg, trying to chop down the giant, taking the leg away from him. And he got him into a couple of submissions. He got an STF on King, and got almost a submission from Brody King. King was able to get to the ropes. Lots of near falls on Dickinson. Brody King, man, hit this massive corner cannonball on Chris Dickinson, who was in the corner. That was preceded by a number of corner clotheslines by King. This was a great match. I mean, Dickinson had a figure 4 on Brody King on 2 separate occasions, trying to get him to tap out, but wasn't able to do it. He smartly, like I said, smartly worked on that leg. He tried to chop the big man down, but when all was said and done in this encounter, in this war between both very, very talented wrestlers, Brody King hit some massive lariat that just about took Dickinson's head right off his body, and he got the 3 count, and Brody King moves on to the semifinals. This was an absolute war. Love this match. Love this whole show. Every match was just terrific. Absolutely loved it. Even the shorter match, Hikuleo and Fred Rosser, even though it was dominated mainly by Hikuleo, it was just enjoyable to watch. It was just enjoyable to watch. You were waiting for Fred Rosser to make a comeback, and he made the short comeback, but it was dominated by Hikuleo. Absolutely love this whole show. The only thing that I didn't like is my man Ren Narita lost. I wanted Ren Narita to win that match. I wanted him to move to the semifinals, but like I said earlier, I can't always get what I want. So next week we have in the semifinals Hikuleo 1-on-1 against Tom Lawlor, and Brody King going 1-on-1 with Leo Rush. A couple of Davey and Goliath matches there. I'm going with Hikuleo, and I'm going with Brody King. I think the finals are going to be Hikuleo and Brody King. I think that would be an absolute war. I just I would be surprised if Tom Lawlor gets past Hikuleo, but I wouldn't be surprised if Leo Rush actually sweeps by Brody King. But I'm picking Hikuleo, Brody King in the finals. And but next week should be a great show as well. There's a big 8-man tag team match coming up as well. They didn't announce the participants. I would assume we could see Alex Coughlin, Clark Connors will be involved. I'm sure Ren Narita will be involved. But big 8-man tag team next week as well. So that's coming up next week, the semifinals of the New Japan Cup USA. And I, for one, cannot wait for that. And on that note, I want to say thank you very much for listening to me today. This is the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. And until next time, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.